This video tutorial I will cover how to inject map having dependent object in key and value using Spring Dependency Injection by Constructor. Here I have defined the class fruit seller. It has two properties, name and email ID. It has fruit seller constructor which accept name and email ID, and I have overridden toString method. Here I have defined the class fruit. It has two properties, name and color, and it has fruit constructor which accept name and color, and here I have overridden toString method. Here I have defined the class fruit info. It has one property called map of fruit seller and fruit. In this map, key is fruit seller and value is fruit. Both key and value are dependent objects. And it has fruit info constructor which accept map of fruit seller and fruit. And it has display fruit info method. This is a Spring configuration file. Here we have specified using constructor dependency injection, Spring container should create fruit seller 1 object, fruit seller 2 object, fruit 1 object, fruit 2 object, and fruit info object. Fruit seller 1 object name should be Peter and email ID should be peter@yahoo.com. Fruit seller 2 object name should be John and email ID should be john@gmail.com. Fruit 1 object name should be apple and color should be red. Fruit 2 object name should be grapes and color should be violet. Fruit info object contains map and it contains two key value pairs. First key value pair key is fruit seller 1 object and value is fruit 1 object. And second key value per key is fruit seller 2 object and value is fruit 2 object. Both are dependent objects. Map element is used to define the map and entry element is used to define key and value information. What object to instantiate, what object to configure, and how to configure. These information will be there in Spring configuration file. In this example, we have specified using constructor dependency injection, Spring container should create fruit seller 1, fruit seller 2, fruit 1, fruit 2, and fruit info objects. Spring container read this Spring configuration file and creates fruit info object and configure the fruit info object and manage the complete life cycle of fruit info object. Here I have defined the class app. Here I have created application context object by reading Spring configuration file. Using getBean method of application context object, I am getting fruit info object from Spring container. Then I am calling display fruit info method. Here you can see the output. These constructors are called by Spring container and map of fruit seller and fruit contains two key value pairs. Key is fruit seller object and value is fruit object.